Call your mom on Sunday. She sounds fine. The conversation feels normal. But then when you visit her a few weeks later, you feel like something's different, right? The house isn't as clean as it used to be. The fridge is half empty. She's wearing the same outfit as last week. You ask if she's okay. She says, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. So you don't until something happens. A fall, a confused phone call to a neighbor, a pot that's left on the stove that starts smoking, right? The reason that most families wait 12 to 18 months between the first warning sign and actually getting some help is because these warning signs are quiet. They don't announce themselves. And trust me, your parents are very good at hiding them. So today I'm going to walk you through 5 signs that your parent needs more help than you realize. These come from research on cognitive and functional decline in older adults and from the patterns and interviews that I keep doing and finding while we're building what we're building over here at True North. My goal is by the end of this video, you know exactly what to look for the next time you visit your parent. So welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Winston Nwanne. I'm currently studying for my long-term care designation. I'm my Georgia life insurance license, and I'm in the process of acquiring an assisted living community right now. So trust me, I am deep in this world every single day, the operational side, the financial side, and the human side. And if you're caring for your aging parents or you're planning ahead for your own care, I want you to hit that subscribe button. We're building something special here. Honestly, a community of people who refuse to be blindsided by the care system. So quick thing before we get into it, I'm not your doctor. I'm not your financial advisor or attorney or insurance agent. This is education. For your specific family situation, I would love for you to talk to a licensed professional in your state. Cool? Let's get into it. So before I get to the 5 signs, I think you need to understand why you're going to miss them, because you will. I'm not patronizing you here, right? Everybody always misses them. Almost every adult child that I've spoken to has. And I think that there are 3 main reasons. The first reason is your parent will hide it from you, not because they're being deceptive, but I want you to think about this. They don't want to be a burden. They've spent 30, 40, 50 years being the person taking care of you. Now, admitting that they need help, it reverses that dynamic in their mind. And it's really hard for them emotionally. So typically they'll minimize, they'll cover it up, they'll tell you that they're fine when they really aren't. And then they'll make things seem a lot lighter than they are. Now, the second reason that you'll probably miss it is because you're only seeing them in snapshots, right? So maybe a Sunday phone call, maybe a holiday visit, maybe you're stopping by after work on your way back home to check on your kids, or maybe you're tired after work. Whatever it is, you're not seeing the day-to-day. You're seeing the version of your parent that they can prepare for you, okay? The third reason that you'll probably miss it is the decline is gradual. Like cognitive and functional decline, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens in these tiny increments over months and years. And if you saw them every day, you'd miss it because the change is so small on a day-to-day basis. And even if you saw them every few weeks, the changes, they start to blend together, and then you start adjusting expectations without even realizing it. So you have to know what to look for, okay? Now, I'm gonna walk you through these 5 things to look for. The first thing that you always wanna look for is the house. I believe strongly that the house always tells the truth. I think your parents' home is the most honest indicator of how they're actually doing. I don't think you could fake a house, right? You can put on a clean outfit for company. You can sound bright on the phone. You can sound sharp, but you can't hide the fact that your refrigerator is empty, or that the laundry's been piling up for 2 weeks, or that the mail's stacked unopened in the corner of the kitchen counter, right? When you visit, I want you to walk through the house with fresh eyes. Look at the fridge, open it up, right? Look at the floor under the bed. Check the bathroom for dirt and grime that, historically wasn't there before. I want you to look at the trash. Is it overflowing, or is it weirdly empty because they've stopped cooking? I don't think these are signs that your parent is getting lazy. These are signs that the activities that they do on a daily are getting harder, right? The daily activities of running a household can take a toll on your parent. And if they stop doing it, this is a sign, okay? Sign number 2, when their medication management starts slipping. I think this is one of the most dangerous signs because it has the highest consequences. So if your parent is on 5, 6, 7 medications and they start missing doses, or, they start doubling up because they can't remember if they took it, the health consequences for this can be severe, can be really, really real. Hospitalizations from med errors, specifically for older adults, they are very, very common. But more importantly than that, they are very, very preventable. So I want you to look in their pill organizer. If it's Sunday and there's still pills in there from Wednesday, that's a sign. I want you to look at the pill bottles, check the dates on their prescriptions. If they got a 30-day prescription and it's been sitting half full for 60 days, that's a sign. I ask casually how they're managing their medications. I want you to listen for hesitation, listen for things like, I think I took it this morning, right? Or, I don't really need that. I want you to look for these things because they can all be signs, okay? Sign number 3, look for social withdrawal. I think this is the one that hits hardest for me. This is the one that breaks my heart every time I hear it, because social isolation, it's not just loneliness. It's medically serious as well. So there's been some research published in the journals of gerontology. It found that socially isolated adults, specifically older adults, they have a significantly increased risk of dementia. So think about this. When your parent stops calling their friends, when they stop going to church, when they stop the coffee meetups, the morning walks, whatever it is that they do naturally, normally, it's not that they suddenly became less social. Think about it. Something is making it harder. Maybe they're embarrassed about their cognitive changes. Maybe driving is starting to feel a little bit unsafe. Maybe they don't have the energy. Maybe they're depressed. Whatever the reason is, the withdrawal is going to accelerate the decline. And I want you to know, if you want a quick way to figure out where your parent actually is on the spectrum from independent to needing some real support, we actually built a free 2-minute care assessment. It walks you through these kinds of questions, the same kinds of questions that a professional would ask, and it gives you a starting point. So I want you to comment quiz below and I'll send it directly to you, or you can grab the link in the description. Not to sell anything, I just want to give you some clarity. Okay. Now, sign number 4, I want you to look for repetition and disorientation. Now, everyone forgets things. Okay. Everyone misplaces their keys. This is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is repetition that was not there before. So like they're asking the same question 3 times in one conversation, or, they're telling you the same story over and over again that they just told you 20 minutes ago. They catch themselves calling you the wrong name over and over again. The disorientation is starting to look like confusion on what the day is, forgetting why they walked into a room. They're getting lost on a drive that they've taken for 20 years, right? This is not normal aging. Some of this can be, but I want you to look at these as potential early signs of dementia, right? Now, this can also be signs of medical interactions, vitamin deficiencies, depression, even like UTIs or sleep disorders in older adults. But the point isn't to diagnose this right away. The point is to notice them and then get them to a doctor, get them to a professional that can help with this. The last sign is personal hygiene. And this is the most uncomfortable one to talk about, because I think this is one of the clearest indicators that daily living, or ADLs, activities of daily living, is becoming more and more difficult. So when your parent stops bathing regularly, right? When they're wearing the same outfit for a few days, when they haven't brushed their teeth, they haven't combed their hair, they're starting to develop like a body odor. Don't see this as laziness or personality change. It's a sign of what professionals call ADLs. It's just getting harder, right? Think about it. Bathing requires balance. It requires coordination, like the ability to manage the water temperature, right? It's a series of cognitive steps and that needs to happen. It's also a fall risk, right? And a potential frustration. So they might avoid it at that point. But the idea is that once you notice this sign, the others usually become obvious in retrospect. Okay. So let's land this thing here. 5 signs that your parent needs more help than you realize. I want you to look at the house. It's always going to tell the truth. I want you to look at medication management if they start slipping, right? Social withdrawal, if they're not going to church as often, if they're not hanging out with friends. This can significantly increase cognitive decline. You do not want that. Look for repetition and disorientation, and then look for personal hygiene changes as well. Now, if you've spotted even one or two of these on your last visit, please don't panic. You don't need to put them in a nursing home right away. That is not the idea here. But I also don't want you telling yourself, oh, we'll figure this out when we need to, right? Because 12 to 18 months from now, by then it's going to be a crisis. And what do I always say? Crisis comes with a premium. And we don't want to pay that premium penalty, right? Or that penalty premium, right? So the right next step is information. So I want you to take the free 2-minute care assessment that I mentioned earlier. Grab the link in the description. It's going to give you a starting point grounded in reality, not just assumptions. Then I want you to have a real conversation with your parent. Not, are you okay? They're going to say yes. They'll always say yes. I want you to be specific. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. I noticed X. Can we talk about it? That's the conversation that starts to change things. Please have that. Once again, I'm Winston Nwanne. I want you to plan early, plan smart, and most importantly, take care of each other. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.